right, an interactive notebook. I don't know how many of you have ever seen an interactive notebook before, but they have become a great tool, especially in the K-12 arena, but as well in higher education. So an interactive notebook is a notebook that students make that has foldables and different things like that in it, that's organized by the student, that helps them keep their information that they have learned. You can use an electronic version or you can use a paper version. So if you're using a paper version, you'll want to get a composition notebook. You could use a binder, but in the K-12 environment, most of the time you use a composition notebook because they stay together and they're easy to keep from course to course. So make sure you put your name on the front, and you're going to have a table of concepts, not a table of contents, a table of concepts. So that's where you're going to put a topic and then a page number. And each page is going to be numbered. You could keep your other homework in this as well, but you don't have to. Some people really like to use tape flags or separators to section off the different categories of the notebook. And sometimes you will have to upload your pages from your notebook. So let's talk about, if you're doing a paper notebook, how you'll get started. If you're using an electronic notebook, you can use whatever product you feel most comfortable with and just follow a similar format. So in a paper notebook, you take the first and the last pages and make pockets by folding them. And you can see this picture here, and you can use duct tape to seal the bottom and the side. Title the second page, because your first page is now taped, Table of Concepts. Then title the third page, Ideas for My Classroom. Then the next page, you're going to have my list of problem-solving strategies, and so on. And you can number those pages as you go, but on your table of concepts, you should have a reasonable, shortened explanation of what is on each page. Here's some helpful hints for an interactive notebook. It should be like a portfolio from the class. It's great for future reference. I personally started using interactive notebooks because my 6th grader at the time was having trouble remembering something at the very start of the year. And I couldn't help her at the moment because I was busy. And then after a few minutes when I wasn't busy, I came back to see if she needed help. And she said, "No, I figured it out." And I said, "Oh, how'd you figure it out?" And she pulled out her 5th grade interactive math notebook that she had made the previous year. And she said, "I couldn't remember some operations on fractions, but I just pulled out my notebook and found the right page in my table of concepts, and I figured it out." So once I knew that a student as young as 6th grade would know that this is a reasonable thing to save from 5th grade for her future help, I knew that this was something I needed to use. So take pride in this. This is going to be a great reference for you in your future classroom. You might use them, or you might just use your own as things to remember. You can follow my suggestions, but your notebook should be unique to you, and you can add things and make it make sense to you. Make sure that it's neat and clear and it's not been crumpled up or just thrown together. And you're an artist. Teaching is an art, believe it or not. And just the way you would keep your paintings, drawing, etc. in a neat manner, think of your interactive notebook the same way. I hope you find this a useful tool. Interactive notebooks are amazing in education.